FM Greeno and welcome along to Season 2, Episode 5 of Better Than Eddie. So, the good news, we are still in a job. Obviously that was under a lot of threat at the end of the last episode. The board had set us an ultimatum of getting 6 points from the next 5 league games, and we managed to surpass that. We got 8 in the end, so yeah, the board are a little bit happy with us. We're not under threat currently, and we live to fight another day. So here's how we went about getting the points that we needed to keep our job. We started with a home match against Tottenham. Unfortunately we went 2-0 down and I was starting to fear the worst there, but we did manage to pull it back and get a point because of goals from Ibe and Barbosa towards the end of the game. So yes, that wasn't a bad start. We then went to Watford and drew 0-0, so that was 2 points from 2 games. Then we went to West Ham, who were a team who were struggling a little bit themselves, and unfortunately just didn't look like we were getting anything out of that game at all. We were woeful. So we were 2-0 down going into the last few minutes. Ryan Fraser did pull one back, but it wasn't enough to get a point. So that was 2 points from 3 games, and I was starting to get a bit worried at that point. Next up came Everton at Dean Court. We left it fairly late. Callum Wilson scoring in the 78th minute, then they had Delph sent off, which ruined any chance they had of getting a point out of the game. So that kept us in the job. Anything but a win, we'd have been in trouble there, I think. So we won that 1-0, that gave us 5 points from the first 4 games. So we went into the Norwich game knowing we only needed a point, and we smashed them all over the place. A 3-0 win, so we ended up with 8 points from those 5 games. In between, we sent a reasonably rotated kind of side up to Old Trafford for a FA Cup game. Lost that 3-0, not even close. Since we've been safe, we then played Chelsea, and we should have won that game. So we went 1 up with Jefferson Lerma early on, they pulled it back, Mason Mount. Fraser scored again to put us 2-1 up, and it was 2-1 until we went into injury time, and unfortunately then Ziyech turned up and pinched a point for them late on. We then played Club Brugge in the first leg of our Europa League tie. Beat them 3-1 pretty comfortably. Unfortunately conceded a penalty, so they have got an away goal, so that's something we have to be a bit wary of, but I'm fairly confident we should have enough to get past them. Now, we went to Liverpool, but less than 48 hours after the Bruges game. So we played Bruges on the Thursday evening and then had a 3 o'clock kick-off Saturday. So I had no choice but to rotate all 10 outfield players. Liverpool are top of the league, obviously a very good side, and they absolutely battered us. Not helped by the fact we had Gutierrez sent off after half an hour either, so yeah, we played a full hour with 10 men. But today, now we have the second leg of the Europa League knockout game against Club Brugge, so let's go and have a look at the transfer business first before we look at the tactics. Now, one of the things that I've been struggling with all season is the Europa League squad. Because we just don't have any decent homegrown players, so it's really limited our options. So I had a look through the game, and there's only really one decent player in the whole game who's homegrown at Bournemouth, and that's Danny Ings. So I really thought, let's try and get him in. And Southampton were willing to let him go. We had to pay £20 million for him, which I thought was probably overpaying, although he's now valued at £28 million, so maybe it wasn't such bad business after all. In order to fund that, I had to let someone go for big money. And the player who actually went was Philip Billing. Now, he had dropped down the pecking order completely this season. He was our 6th or 7th choice central midfielder. So when Tianjin of China came in with a £20 million bid, knowing that I wanted to get Danny Ings in for similar money, it was a no-brainer, so off he went. Stanislas has left too, again wasn't really getting much of a look in, was out of contract in the summer, so we just took a few quid from Swansea and off he goes. And then we've loaned out a bunch of youngsters. So nothing really else of any consequence there. Let's go through to the tactics screen now and see how we're set up for today's game. We're going into this match with a pretty positive formation. As I mentioned, Club Brugge did score a goal at Dean Court in the first leg, so I'd like to make sure we do the same, at least getting 1 goal and really putting the pressure on them to score 3 or more to have any chance of getting through this tie. It's pretty much our first choice 11. The only one player who's still out injured is Zayfoyk, the right back, but Stacey's a pretty capable replacement. Everyone else, I think, is the best player in the position that we've got currently. So let's get through to the game, off to Belgium, and see how we get on. I'd like to think we've got enough about us today to get past Brugge, especially given the result in the first leg. Like I said, that if we can get that one away goal, that will be a big help. So hopefully we'll get some good highlights here and a positive result. It seems like we're starting with one now. Wilson's chasing onto a long ball. Good save from the keeper though, and they clear the danger. But that's a positive start to the game for sure. Brugge with a chance here though. Was that tipped over? No, I think it was just looped over the bar itself. So we're coming up to the quarter-hour mark. It's not going too badly. Lerma seems to have taken a little bit of a knock, but I think he can play through it. Morale's pretty good in the camp at the moment. Those recent results have really sort of turned things around. So the support for me from the players is good. The morale between the squad is good. Paredes, oh, unlucky. So hopefully we can take some momentum into the upcoming league games. We've got, I think, 3 or 4 games against teams in and around the bottom half. So with a bit of luck we can get some positive results there and start moving up the table and really take the pressure off till the end of the season now. That's the aim anyway. But as we've seen with this save so far, it doesn't always go to plan. Paredes here with a ball in. Oh, nodded over. Hang on, have we got a penalty maybe? We have. Antov was pushed. I didn't see that myself, but okay, we'll take it. Callum Wilson steps up and thumps it home. The keeper had no chance. And that's the away goal that we were looking for. So it's 4-1 on aggregate now. Brugge will need to score 3 goals as a minimum without us adding another to even take the tie to extra time. So that's really good for us. So we're just getting through to half time. I think we might need to look at whether Lerma lasts much longer, because that knock seems to be taking his toll on him. I'm saying the efforts are excellent. I think I'll agree with that. Get the boys out with some positive feedback. Seems like we might have another chance here. Lerma knocks it over the top to Wilson. Oh, another good save. That's Mignolet in goal, the ex-Liverpool keeper, isn't it? So, a corner comes over. Unfortunately, nothing doing with that. But if you look at the stats, we're actually dominating this game. We've had 12 shots to their 4, a bit more possession. So I think it's time now that Lerma had a little rest. We can bring Lewis Cook on for him. A bit of complacency here, so let's demand a bit more from the boys and see if we can focus them a little bit. Not too much, but with only 20 minutes to go, I think we've pretty much got this sewn up. Antov, I'm not sure where he's going, but Stacey, another ball onto Wilson. And another save from Mignolet. Wilson really seems to have the beating of this defence for pace, doesn't he? He's on the shoulder of the last defender all the time. Okay, time for another change or two. Let's see. Fraser can come off for Ibe. And we'll give Danny Ings 10 minutes. I'm not expecting a great deal more to happen though. More than happy for it just to play out really, but we have got a highlight here. Danny Ings picks up the ball, cuts inside one defender, finds Barbosa. What's he going to do? Gives it back to Stacey. Unfortunately, Brugge take the ball off us there. Can we win it back? No, it's a long ball over the top to Diatta, but a comfortable save there for Trapp. No real danger. And so we're into injury time now, and that's it. A 1-0 win, 4-1 on aggregate, and we're through to the next round. We have the draw today for the second round of the Europa League knockout stage. Well, there's a lot of tough teams in this draw by the looks of it. So teams you'd imagine should still be in the Champions League. So Dortmund are here, Chelsea, Bayern, Milan, Napoli, Roma, Tottenham. So yeah, I'm not too hopeful of getting a favourable draw. Well, there are some teams in here that I wouldn't mind facing. Maybe AZ or Kiev. Benfica at a push. So anyway, let's have a little look and see who we get. Benfica out first. They play Dortmund. That's a tasty looking tie. PSV Galatasaray, Tottenham Roma. Oh, we got Milan. Okay, that's not going to be easy, but it could have been worse, I guess. At least we've avoided Bayern, we've avoided Chelsea, we've avoided Dortmund. So Milan currently sitting second in Serie A. Yeah, that's going to be a tough assignment. And let's see how that fits into the schedule. I mentioned earlier that I thought we had a few winnable games coming up in the Premier League. The schedule's been a little bit complicated now by that Milan draw, because we have to play the first leg of that just next week. The second leg coming a week after that. So that really kind of adds a couple of extra games into the schedule and stretches the squad a little bit more. But hopefully we'll have enough to pick up some points in the league. I think I'll bring you back for that second leg against Milan. It'd be nice to see Bournemouth go over to the San Siro, a big stadium, big atmosphere. I think that'll be a good one for us to come back and see. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. It's good to get another win on the board and through to the next round of the Europa League. If you have enjoyed it, please consider dropping a like, and any comments you've got, I'd love to see them below. If you haven't subscribed yet, I'd love you to do so. The more of us, the merrier. Finally, just thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the San Siro for the next episode. Bye for now.